Hello. I am not sure if this is working or not. I'm having a little trouble. I'm on my phone right now. My computer is malfunctioning, saying that my camera is not supported. So I'm on my phone. So let me get logged back into the group here so I can make sure that we're working here. Ay vey. I'm so sorry, people. Oh, people are talking to me. It's working. Yay. Okay, so this isn't what I planned, sitting here holding my phone, but here we are. All right, you guys. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to take away all the comments for right now. I'm going to bring them up on my computer so I can kind of follow along and see if I can find it. Just give me half a second, guys. I can't. There I am. Oh, God. I look like that? Ah. Yikes. So I can kind of follow along. Okay, now I have to mute this. Hold on. Just give me half. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can read comments. I gotcha. I got you. All right, yay. So here we are. Oh, hey, I look good. Okay, so if I look away, I'm looking at comments over here. So I'm not very good at all this stuff. It's kind of weird talking to a camera and not having anybody looking back at me. So bear with me as I get into this. My name is Rachel Erpenbach. I am a short, fat, sassy granny, and I live in Great Falls, Montana, one of the best states in the entire world. I love my state. We have so many amazing things here. I feel blessed every day to live in this beautiful state. I live in Great Falls, kind of almost dead center. We're on the prairie, right on the Missouri River. And when I come out of off the hill at my house, I can see at least 7 different mountain ranges in every direction for me. So it's really cool to live here. We have about 55,000 people in my town. So it's a big city for Montana, but not that big compared to where a lot of you people live. So my market is kind of small, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit. I'm gonna tell you about myself first of all. I'm married with my soulmate. He was put on this planet for me, and I was put on this planet for him. We've been together. We're having our 30th wedding anniversary coming up. That is a long time to spend with one person. Oh. But husbands can't live with them, can't kill them. What do you do? Anyways, we have 3 beautiful children, all grown. We have 3 grandchildren. He's an engineer and just recently bought the company that he's been working for 30 years. So I'm so proud of him. About 20 years ago, we were looking at our retirement, and we lost a bunch of money in a stock market decline when we didn't have a lot of money to lose, when we were just youngsters starting out with 3 kids. And we decided that we didn't want to gamble our retirement in the stock market, so we built storage units. So I have a storage unit facility that has about 400 storage units in it. That's my main business. Cookies are my side hustle, but I run my cookie business out of my storage unit. So I have an office here, and I used to do long arm quilting, and I know some of you won't know what that is, but when people take really beautiful fabric, they cut it up in little tiny pieces and then sew it back together to make beautiful patterns. They would bring me those quilt tops, and I would put it on a 14-foot quilting machine and sew beautiful things into it. So I kind of have a background in being kind of creative my whole life. I love decorating cakes and cookies, and I owned a restaurant with my mama for many years. So I love to bake, I love to cook, I love to decorate, I love to be creative. I love to eat. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Anyways, first thing I'm going to say, since we're just getting started here, if you will save your questions, I am not going to try and read this feed while I'm doing this live. I want to just give you my whole undying love and attention. So save your questions. At the end of the Facebook Live, I will take questions and I will stay and answer them all, I promise, if I can. Anyways, my sister, who is a year younger than me, we're very close, and we decided that we were going to open up a cookie business together. I, about 10 years ago, had a kidney stone, had an absolutely brutal lithotripsy kidney infection, And as soon as I recovered from that, it was about 3 months, I started to get really sick and almost died. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Turns out I had for my whole life a genetic kidney disease. And I don't talk about it to people, so I feel kind of weird to even mention it here, but I laid on the couch dying a slow death of 1,000 cuts for about 8 years. And then I finally decided to open up a cookie business with my sister, and I think it saved my life because I was laying on the couch dying, and now I'm up and doing stuff. It's hard on me physically, I'm not gonna lie, but it gives me a reason to get up off the couch every day, and it gives me a creative outlet, and it literally saved my life. So I'm not joking, like I probably would have just laid on my couch and died. So cookies saved my life. I am in the I don't know how to say this, but I am very blessed. My husband has a really good job. I don't have to work. I don't have children that are depending on my income. My house payment gets made every month without cookie money. So I know that a lot of you are not in that kind of a position. So for some of the things that I'm going to address today that pertains to how I run my business, I don't have some of those things to take into account. So just so you know, I'm kind of spoiled and old and kind of set in my ways anyways. I'm going to preface this by saying if I tell you something that I do and why it works for me and why I don't do it a certain way, I'm not trying to downplay whatever everybody else does. I mean no offense. I don't want somebody to say, well, this is how I do it, and she says not to do it like that, and I don't want you to feel bad about how you do it. I want you to know how I did it and how I grew from nothing. We had zero business to tons of business, too much business, and how we did it. And I'm not out to be some really super famous cookie person. I don't want 1 million followers on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. I don't need that. I'm happy with my little business that I have here. I'm one of those people that I want to be the best that I can be when I start something. So I strive to be good at what I do. I strive to be the best at what I do. And it just keeps me learning and trying to get better all the time, trying to figure out better ways. I'm very honest about what my goals are. I'm very honest about what my strengths and my weaknesses are. I have a weakness for cake, again. And pasta. My strengths are, I'm sassy. I'm real sassy. And that's why my name of my business is called Sassy Sister Sugar Co. Because my sister and I are super sassy girls, but we have fun doing it. My sister is no longer here in the business with me. Working with family is kind of hard, and so we decided that we were better off apart. So I've been on my own for about a year. She started with me. We opened this together, and she left about 8 months into it, and I've been open just about 1.5 years right now. So we started, it took us about a year to get from the little seed in our head is planted to opening a business. It took us a year to get there. And we just started, we wanted to make some cookies and make enough to maybe go on a vacation and pay for Christmas, a couple $1,000 every holiday. If we could do, Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and Father's Day and stuff like that, and then just make a little bit of money and have on the side and have some fun. And it did not turn out like that at all. It really didn't. It kind of blew up in my face. We opened in January of last year. We landed our very first huge job. I don't know if you guys know what the Russell Art Auction is. It's a world famous Western art auction here in Great Falls, Montana, and millions of dollars of artwork is sold here. We have 100 jets on the tarmac in the airport up here. It's a huge deal. It brings in millions of dollars into our economy. And we landed that 3 weeks in. They called us and wanted us to have our cookies front and center on their main event, their big auction with their logo on it, a Montana cookie with their logo on it. And we're like, yes. It was like a $1,500 order, and or $2,000, I can't remember, but we were so excited. And so we started working on it, and they canceled it. So we ended up with 300 cookies, and nowhere to put them. So we put them in the freezer and kind of stewed, and oh, that's so sad. We could have used that money, blah, blah, blah. And we had some friends working at the hospital during COVID. And I'm like, why don't we take those cookies out and just donate them to the hospital, the frontline workers? And we did. So we took our white flooded Montana cookies and we did a little, like a nurse, like an EKG line, and put strong and tough. So Montana strong, Montana tough. And we donated them to the hospital. And somebody posted in a group, and it kind of blew up from there. It literally blew up. So COVID for us was the beginning of something huge, like a juggernaut, really, honestly, because we made that donation. It was a sunk cost. The cost of the cookies, I don't know, we maybe had I don't know, maybe $30 of cost of ingredients in there. And yeah, we saw it as a loss, but it turned into the biggest gain ever. So all the restaurants here closed for dine-in eating, but they were allowed to stay open for takeout. So we kind of just snuck under the radar and just stayed open. And we started doing donation cookies, and donation cookies put us on the map, literally. So yeah, that's one of those things. I want my plan with this cookie business, because you always go into something with an exit strategy. Never start something without knowing how to get out of it. So my exit strategy for cookies is I want to buy a condo in Hawaii with my cookie money. So I figure I got about 3 years, and then I'll have enough money to put down on a condo, because we want to retire someday. Because remember, I told you I'm old and fat, so I need someplace nice and cushy for this fat old granny. Anyways, and that's what I want to do with my cookie money. So that's my long-term goal with the business. I will tell you right now that I have, and I know finances are sometimes hard to talk about, and it's something that you keep private, but I'm going to share with you a little bit. I've had several $9,000+ months in my cookie business that I've sold over $9,000 worth of cookies. And I'm going to tell you how I got there. I'm going to tell you what worked for me. And I know that isn't realistic to some people that work full time or that have small kids. I don't have any of those things. I have a workaholic husband who's hardly ever home, and I'm kind of a workaholic myself, so it kind of works out really good for me. But if I had small children, I would not be able to work this schedule. I know that. I do have to take time off because of my kidney disease that I have. It kind of kills me. I live in a torture chamber of a body. It's not fun to have this kidney disease. It's very debilitating, but I'm up and moving and alive. If you saw me on the street, you wouldn't know I was sick if I didn't tell you. So yeah, that's what it is. So I'm going to go through how I did this, and I will, like I said, save your questions. I will answer them all. The most important thing I can tell you about running a cookie business for yourself is branding. And I'm not a professional. The twins, they're professionals. They do this as a living. I'm talking from a little old small town girl like me that started with nothing. Branding is what I did to myself. I have a color. See this wall back here? That's my color. So my tissue paper, my stickers, my business cards, my logo, everything has to do with teal. Teal is my color. So when you see a white box or a white bag with a teal sticker and a business card on it, that's me. People in my town know that because I am pounding in front of their face every chance I get. I do pretty simple packaging. I like white, clean white with the teal and the black. I'm gonna grab a business card and show you. I'm rebranding my business cards because we did the really cutesy Etsy business card logo. And I want to streamline it. And I have a niece that does a really good job with that. She does a marketing company, and she's made us a really new logo. So I'm going to rebrand my logo this year. But this is my business card, and it's different than every other business card. It's not one of those rectangle business cards. It's a square one, and it's got my logo on it. It's got my color on it. Same with my stickers. These stickers go on everything. My tissue paper, I don't have a box out here, but I get my boxes from BRP Boxes. So if you're not buying from BRP, I'm going to try and set this down here and see if that works so I can have hands-free. If you're not buying from BRP, they are the bomb. I can't tell you how much I love BRP boxes. I use them all the time. I don't do over-the-top packaging. Number one, I don't have time for it. If my sister was still here with me, or if I finally get an employee or something, I might think about doing a little bit more, but I really like that clean, crisp look of just white and then my logo stuff. And I'm not saying don't do cute packaging, because I fully understand why people want to do that fun packaging stuff. But anything that I give, I put in a couple business cards. What I want is I want my name and my logo in front of people's faces as much as possible. I put a sticker on every single cookie. So to get into one of my cookies, you have to get through my sticker. They might throw these away, but they got to look at it when they throw it away, and they're going to see my name. The more they see my name, the more I brand myself, the more recognizable I am. And I'm finding that the people who I've never sold cookies to, they know me now. They come up to me and they tell me, they know me, that I've marketed myself, I've branded myself, and people know about my cookies. Like and it's kind of weird. It's like weird, like little like hero kind of worship. Like, you're so amazing, you do such good work. And really, I'm not that good. I really ain't. I'm not. But I do a good job marketing myself, and I do a good job of getting my cookies in front of people. So that's why I do that. I look at like branding, advertising campaigns and stuff, like the nationwide is on your side. It's very recognizable. You know exactly what it is. You want people to feel like that with your logo, with your name and your logo. You want them to recognize you and come to you every time they need cookies, cakes, whatever. So branding, probably the most important thing I can teach you is put your name out there for everything. Put your name out there. Put your stickers on everything. Have a cute name. Have a catchy name. Sassy Sugar Co. is my name, and I'm sassy. So when I come up with products, like hot cocoa bombs were huge last year, so of course we jumped on the bandwagon for hot cocoa bombs. And we called them sass balls. We didn't call them hot cocoa bombs, we called them sass balls. We have subscription service for cookies. I do a monthly subscription service, and we call them the sass box. I just formed a VIP group, and it's my sassy sugar squad. So everything is sassy. Everything comes back to branding, and that's why I do that. One of the things that we did when we very first started was giveaways. And I know Facebook has cracked down on giveaways, like, share, comment, tag, whatever, all that stuff. They've kind of cracked down on that, and they will, if they know what's going on, they'll kind of drop your numbers. But you can do it on, I think they're even starting to recognize it when you do it on photos. I haven't done one for a little bit, but I know that works. People will do anything for free stuff, literally anything for free stuff. And giveaways cost you very, very little. The cost of goods, a few bucks, and some time. So giveaway samples are great things to give away. But people will share your stuff and invite people. I'm going to give you an example of a giveaway that just like blew up in my face. I just started a VIP group last week, and I told people, if you invite 5 friends, I'll put your name in for a drawing for a free class for a Halloween cookie decorating class. And before I knew it, I have 600 and plus people in my VIP group now. Like, how does that happen? I was thinking maybe I'd get 40 or 50. I have 600 plus people in my group now in less than a week, because I gave away a $65 class. And it doesn't cost me $65. It costs me maybe $8 to $10 for the swag bag and the cookies and the frosting that I'm giving them. So it literally cost me nothing. And now I have a huge audience that is a warm audience. They're interacting. I'm talking to them every day. They're ride or dies, basically. It's amazing. So if you haven't done a VIP group, highly suggest it. If you're not doing giveaways, highly suggest that. I don't even have to do giveaways now to get my name out there, but in the beginning we did. And we did them on photos. So if you do go to Canva and make up photos, instead of putting it in because Facebook will recognize that you're doing giveaways and then slow your roll. So just do it sneaky. And I don't even know if they're on a sneaky, I guess, but I keep trying. I mean, I would try it for sure. Pre-sales, if you're not doing pre-sales, that's another thing that we did. Sorry, I got a hair that keeps tickling my ear. Pre-sales, do samples, get them up, and pre-sale holidays and stuff. It's awesome. One of the things that we did when there were two of us and we weren't so busy is we would pick fun holidays like National Dog Day or National Air Force Day. We have an Air Force base here in Great Falls, and we would do up a little set of samples and just do like little sets and Shark Week sets and stuff like that. And again, that was putting content in front of people, and people were seeing that we could produce all these cookies. And we were in front of people, we were getting people, we were giving stuff away. So people were sharing, they were excited about our product, they were excited to see pictures and excited to see our stuff. So giveaways and national fun days, they're just really good ways to stay in touch with your customer base. So very much worth it. Pop-ups. Oh my gosh, people talk about pop-ups. That is an absolute untapped market. That pop-ups are fabulous. So what you get out of a pop-up, I'm not going to go into it a lot because I know there's people that do pop-ups. And I like that one gal that says she does $3,000 in a pop-up. Like, that's fantastic for her. I don't know that I could do a $3,000 pop-up every other week or every month. That's a lot of work. I'm not sure that I could keep up with that along with all my other stuff. But I do pop-ups. And if people don't come to me, I go to them and I'll ask them. We get the benefit of cross-clientele. So my customers come where I go, and their customers will come to their store, and then we get to share a customer base for a little while. And I often do a buy from you, buy from me, get free stuff kind of deal. So if you buy $40 worth of cookies from me and $40 worth of merchandise from where I'm doing my pop-up, they'll throw in a free gift and I'll throw in a free cookie. And like I said, free stuff people do amazing things for free stuff. So that gets their customers buying from you and your customers buying from them. So you both benefit from each other's clientele. And I can do, $500 to $2,000 in a 4-hour period. And that's amazing. Like, that is amazing. Plus you're out in the community, plus you're getting out to see people. Like my studio here, I don't have people into it. It's a closed studio. I've been very careful with COVID, so I haven't had a lot of, traffic coming into my studio. So pop-ups, do them, definitely. Go if people aren't calling you to do them, you go to them, honestly. Super easy to do. All you need is a 4-foot table. That's all you need. Send some shelves and some cookies. That's it. If you have leftover cookies from a pop-up, which does happen, I have overbaked for pop-ups before, flash sale the next day. People will buy your stuff on a flash sale. You can charge full price. If you can't unload them at full price, you can discount them and still get money. And even if you can't do that, throw them in the freezer. I have a scratch and dent shelf in my freezer. So my scratch and dent sales are pretty cool. So that's leftovers, the stuff that I couldn't sell. It's quality control stuff. It's cookies that were maybe got cracked, or maybe I didn't like a design and said, you're going in the bin. Or I only roll my dough twice when I cut out cookies, because if you roll them any more than that, they start getting really wonky, and you lose your shapes and your control of what your cookies look like. So third roll cookies, they're still good to eat. There's nothing wrong with them. You just can't control how well they turn out. So I'll bake up third roll cookies and use leftover icing and just put a quick frosting on them, and I sell it by the pound, and I'll have a scratch and dent sale, and they're gone in 5 minutes. And so there's no waste. There's no waste. I can sell everything that I make. It might not be full price, but I'm making money on it. I'm making something on it. So yeah, pop-ups are super awesome. And I talked about the national holidays. Subscriptions. Oh my God, subscription service. If you're not doing a subscription service, do it. So I do a monthly subscription service. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my flyer. I should have had this for you guys, but it's right here. So I made up some flyers when we first started doing the subscription service, and this is what it looks like. And it is, I made it on Canva. So there's the front, there's the back, very professional looking. I'm happy to share this with people. If you want to use this, I'll send it to you. I'll give it to you, and you can name it what you want, change the wording in it. But I do a 3, a 6, or a 12-month subscription. And I love that because it's front-loaded. It's money in the bank. People pay you. I do it on the first Wednesday of every month, and you get 6 cookies, minimum of 6 cookies. You pay $24 per month. I charge $5 a cookie, by the way. I don't think I said that starting out. I came out of the gate charging $5 a cookie, and I've never looked back. That's charged $5 a cookie. So these SAS boxes are a way for my ride or dies to get cookies every month. These are my people that love my cookies. So first Wednesday of every month, I deliver these to my people. They get a minimum of 6. Like this month, I moved them back a week because I was supposed to be at CookieCon, which I didn't go. Anyways, so I'm doubling up their cookies. They're getting 12 cookies this month for SAS box, and it literally cost me very little to do that. But yeah, and then I give them a free set on their birthday month. So it might be 4 cookies I add that to their, as long as they've been with me for 6 months. If they do a 12-month program, they get a free month at the end. So they pay for 11, then they get 12 months. These have blown up for me lately. I may have to start limiting how many subscriptions I do and put people on wait lists. And people will come and go off of my subscription, and that's fine. I mean, if you do it for a year and then drop off for a few months and take a break, that's fine too. But yeah, if you're not doing a cookie subscription, it's amazing. They have no say in the designs. I do whatever I want. So whatever I feel like doing, I get to do, which is kind of fun. And like, I belong to a Cookie of the Month club from Shaby, who I love, her stuff, and she sends really cool stuff. And so I often will use her stuff for my subscription boxes because she makes really neat stuff. So those work really great. Let's see, what else can I tell you about that? Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about, Facebook ads. I did run ads when we very first started out. I did run Facebook ads, and I think that we did. If I tracked my sales through them, which you can do, we did get contacts from those. So those are worthwhile. If you're iffy on the fence, I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money doing that, but it does get your product in front of people that normally wouldn't be your audience. So that's kind of cool. The other thing that you should know when you're marketing and branding is you should know your target audience. Like, you should know who you're selling to. I'll tell you who my people are. My people are the Instagram kids, the kids that have grown up on Instagram, the 20-somethings that Pinterest and Instagram, and they see these fabulous parties. They may not have all the money in the world, but they darn sure want those photographs to look really good. And those people, those are the ones that are paying, $120 for 24 cookies for a 1-year-old's birthday party. The other half of my target audience are older women with discretionary income. So people like me, like my age group, that have a little extra income and can afford to buy that stuff and don't think twice about what the cost is. And not everybody's your customer. And I realized that a long time ago. I came out charging $5 a cookie. There were times where I questioned that. I wasn't worth $5. I don't know if I'm worth $5 now, but I charge it, and I got people lining up to throw money at me and pay me $5 a cookie, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's an asinine amount of money, actually. But I'm gonna take it because I need that Hawaii condo. So the algorithms that we talk a lot about in the marketing group here don't really matter to me. Like I said, I don't care about followers. I don't care about likes, shares, that kind of stuff. I am too busy right now. So if I have 1 million followers, it means nothing to me. I can't add more hours in the day to do more cookies. So I'm happy with my followers. I'm happy with my clientele. I'm happy having local people follow me. I don't necessarily need somebody from Australia to follow me. Not that you can't. If you're in Australia and you like me, follow me. I'm good with that. But I don't need that. I don't need the likes. I don't need that recognition. I have my business and I'm happy where I'm at. So I sometimes don't necessarily pay attention to all that stuff. And if you're new and trying to grow your business, you probably do need to pay attention to that stuff. So don't be like me. Be better than me. I am one of those people that I will unfollow a business page if they post too much stuff. So I try not to post too much stuff to my page. I try to post content that is particular to my business, pictures of my stuff, events coming up, things like that. I don't want, like if I follow a cooking page, I don't want to see, your kids' pictures necessarily every week, that kind of stuff. I just don't. So I'll unfollow pages. So I kind of take that, like I'm my target audience. So I kind of feel like when I look at stuff that, if it bothers me and I don't like it, then I try not to do it. But again, if you're trying to build your business, that stuff probably matters to you. Yeah, Facebook's that. Classes, another thing, classes. Oh my God, if you're not doing classes, do classes. Classes are amazing, untapped potential. They cost nothing to put on and it's pure profit, literally. You can do 2 classes on a weekend and, you know, I don't have a huge audience here. Like I'm not in a population dense area. So my classes are smaller. I would never have to do a PowerPoint presentation for my classes here. I can fit 20 people around a table and show them what I'm doing right in front of me. So we get really hands one-on-one stuff. And I like to treat my people right. They're paying me $65 is what I charge for a beginner class. I've got some advanced classes that have more cookies and more detail and stuff, and where I push 120 for those, and people are signing up all day long for it. It's crazy. Yeah, and I was sad we couldn't do classes during COVID, but now that COVID is over, we're gonna jump back in that saddle. I've got a bunch of classes scheduled, and I'm going to smaller towns in Montana and putting on classes in smaller towns where people I know are, and they love it. They love having me to come do that for their town. So it's untapped potential income. The cost that costs you to put them on is nil compared to what you make. So classes, another way to build your audiences. Donations, let's talk about donations. I see so many people talk about donations and they really they discourage them and they don't want to do them and stuff like that. And I feel completely different about that. And granted, if you're one of those people, I'm not trying to say you're wrong because you're not. I just know for me, donations built my business. That's the foundation of what my business was built on. So I am going to give back to my community as much as I can. There's 2 things that I look at for donations. Is it going to get my cookies in front of my target audience? And is it a cause that I feel passionately about? If I say yes to either one of those 2 things, then I'm going to donate. And when I talk about donating, I'm talking about just 2 dozen cookies, 24 cookies. So if you have done the math on how much your cookies cost to make you, it's probably, $8 to $10 to make a set of cookies in a couple hours of your time. But if your cookies so my target audience, I told you, people with discretionary income. I'll give you an example. We had an Elk Foundation fundraiser here a couple weeks ago. It wasn't even here. It was in Lewistown, Montana, which is 80 miles from me. But that's my target audience. Those are wealthier people that have discretionary income that can go to banquets and buy $800,000 guns and stuff. And I've got people fighting over my cookies in silent auctions. My cookies went for $520 to the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation fundraiser. Am I passionate about that? Yeah, I am pretty passionate about the Elk Foundation, but people were fighting over my cookies, and that's a good thing. Again, my name is out there and people are wanting my cookies. So that's, to me, is what I like. I'm donating to an Alzheimer's walk coming up here. We just buried my husband's dad for Alzheimer's. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Do I want them to find a way to cure Alzheimer's? Yes, please. So am I going to donate to them? Yes. I didn't donate. They wanted 4 dozen cookies. I said, I'll donate 2 dozen and I'll give you 20% off the next 2 dozen. Deal, sold. So I'm not necessarily making a whole ton of money on that, but I'm donating to a cause and they're getting my cookies, and there's 4 dozen people out there that are going to have a cookie in their hand from me, which I appreciate. That's, again, branding and putting my cookies in people's hands, which is where I want them to be. The other thing is my SaaS box. So if there's smaller things, like we have a lot of smaller donations that or smaller functions here in town, and that I give a coupon for one month of the SAS box, which is basically 6 cookies. I can control when I give it out, and it's no skin off my nose to make 6 extra cookies when I'm making 120 cookies for my SAS box. So I just make 6 extras, and then I give them away as when people want to cash in their donation. So that's another really good way for me to donate and not really cost me anything or extra time or anything like that. So my SAS boxes, I often give those to smaller donation things. One of the things that I do, now I can do 45 dozen cookies in a week. Like I said, I don't have children at home. I have a very efficient studio. I don't run it out of my house. I am a home baker, so I'm a cottage baker. I fall under the home baker rules, so I have to follow all those rules. But I have a standalone studio, and it's in the office of my storage unit, so I run my storage units while I'm up here making cookies, my side hustle cookies. And one of the things that my brain does automatically, it drives me crazy, but it tries to streamline things, and it will try and figure out how to shorten steps. Like I always try to find the shortest way home on my trip. It's something weird with my brain. So if I'm making let's say 200 cookies, and you touch those cookies 7 times from start to finish, you cut them out, you bake them, you frost them, you decorate them, you bag them, you photograph them, you bag them, and you box them. If you're touching those cookies 7 times, if you can shave off 10 seconds every time you touch a cookie, you're talking hours of your life. So streamline your process, figure out how to set up your workspace to work more efficiently and save steps so that everything you need is within reach. Everything you need is easily gotten to. Stay organized so that you can find all your stuff. You're not scrambling looking for stuff. When this video's over, I'm gonna do a live presentation with a tour through my studio so you can kind of see how I have it set up. Is it perfect? No, but it really works well for me. Is there things that I could use help on? Hell yeah. Yes, most definitely. But it's an efficient use of the space that I have. And I bake a metric buttload of cookies out of this little studio. Like I said, I can do 45 dozen in a week. And I think that, I think I've done over 20,000 cookies in the last year. And that's a lot of cookies. That is really, again, a metric buttload of cookies. And if you do the math, at $5 a cookie. Now some of those, like 2,000 of those were advent calendar cookies, so they were just 2-inch, so they weren't $5 a piece. But if you do the math, it's pretty amazing the income that you can make. Like you can make this job be a full-time job and make a living at it. Like I make a good living. My son I have 3 children. My middle son, my middle redheaded kid he's single by the way, has 3 engineering degrees, and I make a lot more than he does. Yeah, selling cookies. So again, I feel uncomfortable talking about income, but what I want you to know is that you can do it. You gotta hustle, you gotta put yourself out there, you gotta take risks, you gotta be confident. That's one thing that I do not lack is confidence. I don't ask for help on how to reply to customers. I don't ask for help on situate because I'm confident in who I am and how I handle my business. And a lot of you cookiers out there really need to build up your confidence. You need to know how much you are worth. You need to know what your products are. You need to know that you can do it. And I'm here to tell you, you can. If this fat, sassy granny can do it, you can too. And I'm here to tell you that's the fact. I'm just going to touch on a couple more things. I've got some notes here that I'm going to touch on. If you don't have a dehydrator, get one. Game changer. I absolutely didn't want to get a dehydrator, and then I did, and I think, what in the hell was I thinking not wanting to get one? Get a dehydrator. It'll change your life. It'll make it so much easier. I'm going to talk about tiered pricing. I see all kinds of people saying, let me see your price list. Let me see how you do your tiered pricing. What's your custom? What's your medium? What's your simple? I don't bother with that. I don't do tiered pricing at all. I make $5 a cookie, period. If you want a simple cookie, it's going to cost you $5. If your budget doesn't allow for you to buy $5 cookies, then I'm not your girl. There are girls here in town that will do, there was one gal doing $25 for 2 dozen cookies. I'm at 120 for 2 dozen cookies. I start at 120. My minimum is 24 cookies. I won't break out my cookie dough for less than that. I will not design dozen orders. I think you put enough time and energy into designing and mixing colors and stuff. It's not worth it to make $60. So I'm gonna make $120 on my minimum order, period, end of story. I don't do tiered pricing. If at $5 a cookie, you get just about anything. Characters, I will do characters. I only do 2 at that price. If you want characters, then you're gonna pay more for characters. And I know the whole legal schmeagle stuff, and if I get a cease and desist letter, then so be it. I'll deal with that when it happens. But until then, you're gonna pay me $5 a damn cookie. Yeah. Anyways, and payment. How do I charge my people? I require payment up front. You don't get to talk designs with me. You don't get to book a date until you pay my invoice. If you don't pay the invoice, we don't do business. I don't want to track down people. I am far too busy to try and track down people for a second half of a payment or deposit or 1 week before, and I'm trying to look for payment and trying to decide if I want to do this order or not. No. If you want to book with me in 2 months, you pay $120, period. End of story. No questions asked. That's just a no-brainer for me. So I hold my ground to that. And have I lost some customers because of that? Possibly. But again, I have so much business that I'll bet I turn around 4 and 5 orders. Turn away 4 and 5 orders. I'll book 1 order out of every 5 because I'm too busy. And yeah, so that's it. I tell, if people say, oh, I don't have that much money, I say, well, save up and call me next time when you're ready. And I'm very nice. I'm very professional. I'm not mean. I am absolutely not mean at all. So no, I mean, I seem like I might be kind of a hard ass, but to my customers, I'm telling you that I'm a hard ass, but to my customers, I'm a very kind person, and I really do handle that tactfully and tell people, yeah, well, save up next time and let me know, and I'll get you hooked up. Absolutely. One of the things that I do in my business that again is branding for me is most people make like 3 to 4 inch cookies, right? I make 5-inch cookies and I roll them out at 8 millimeters. So the perceived value of my cookies are huge. Like I make big, giant, fat, saucy, juicy cookies. And you put my cookie up next to other people here in town or other places, and my perceived value for my cookies is way higher. It costs pennies for me to do a larger cookie, literally costs pennies. But I give a nice big fat cookie and people love it. And that's something. Perceived value is another thing that I'm really big on. So I want people to know they're getting a good deal. They're paying a premium price, they're gonna get good stuff. When the hot cocoa bombs came out, we decided that we weren't going to, I just used imported Belgian chocolate. I didn't go the candy melts. I did not go, the cheap bins at Michael's. I got the good stuff, imported chocolates. I charged twice as much for my hot cocoa bombs as anybody else here in town, and I could not keep up with orders. But because the perceived value, they know they're getting a good quality product from me. I tell them, we don't use that stuff. We only use imported Belgian chocolate, and they'll pay more. My people will pay the prices I'm asking for the products that I put out, because I let them know that I'm a high quality product person. Perceived value is everything. Now, when I put something out, they buy it. I mean, it's because I've trained them now. I see a lot of people tracking expenses, costs, like cost of goods and stuff like that. When I very first started doing cookies, we figured out how much it costs to make 2 dozen cookies, how much packaging costs and all that stuff. I figured it out once. I don't keep track of that. I keep receipts for tax purposes. Absolutely. I'm a big girl for getting all those write-offs. I pay enough taxes as it is. I don't need to pay more, but I don't care what the cost of goods is for me anymore. It's so minimal. It does not matter. It's irrelevant. What they're paying for is my time and my skill, which I'm probably overcharging for my skill, but as I said before, they're lining up to pay it. So So cost of goods means nothing to me, what they're paying for. I don't take into account wage for myself either. And again, that's something that probably most of you are going to want to do, but I'm in that unique situation where it really doesn't affect my life dramatically if I don't work. So wage, I don't need to have a certain wage. I don't need to know that I'm paying myself $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I pay my bills, and then what's left over is going to a Hawaii condo. So that's all I can say about that. Organization, again, just keep your workspace organized, keep your tools organized, have everything that you need at hand. If you, like I just bought an Eddie printer, and that's gonna change the game for me. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is wrapping up about everything that I can tell you of what I have done to get my business to where it is. So I'm gonna go back here and try and do some, answer some questions if that's okay. Oh shoot, hold on. Okay, so, oh, where did we go here? Hang on, click to expand. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get on here and try and answer some questions, okay, you guys? Doesn't ship to Alaska. Do you have a picture of your packaging put together? I do not think I have a picture of my packaging put together. Let me go grab a couple boxes. I'll take you on a little tour real quick. I'm gonna do a tour of my shop after this, so I'll give you the grand tour. But these are the boxes that I use. These are the boxes that I use for my two to 3 dozen cookies, and I stack them up there vertically. They fit perfectly in there. There's my sticker, there's my tissue paper, and that's kind of what my boxes look like, and they look really nice. So I'll see if I can flip. I don't know if I can flip this around. Sorry. So yeah, so I can't flip it around, but sorry, just had somebody try to come in the door here. But this is my box wall. These boxes, this is what my SAS boxes go out in, the BRPs. There's my back stock. This is another really good size for BRP boxes. Those will hold 3 or 4 cookies. And then my next favorite BRP box is, of course, this guy right here. So yeah, those are my boxes and my tissue paper. Let me get back to the questions, and I will, if I think of it, I've got a set that I'll put together tomorrow. Maybe I can post that, what it looks like. Okay, so let me get back here. Just for the subscription comments. Oh, let me go back down here. I'm sorry, you guys. I love Shea Bee cookie cutter subscription box. Those are amazing. Older women are my best customers too. I love them. Fabulous. Let me tell you, grandmas don't think twice about buying huge cookies from me. They're totally my customer. Yeah, Granny's got the money, baby. We don't have to raise those kids anymore. Can you give me more info on how you charge for classes and what you supply for the price? Okay, so classes. I charge $65 for a basic beginner class. I give them a swag bag, and in the swag bag, I give them one of my, I order from Shea Bee and Kaleida Cuts. Shea Bee, because she does a lot of free stuff. Like free cutter Friday, so I'll order a big order of cookie cutters from her, and I'll just get the 4-inch cookie cutters. I do I print off copies of a base recipe. I don't give my recipe out, but I do print off a recipe card and a royal icing recipe card, not my exact recipe because I tweaked those, so I'm not giving those out, but I will give them a base recipe. I give them usually like a hot cocoa bomb, and what else do I put in those? I always do a giveaway, like door prizes and like body and bath candles, stuff like that. Just nice stuff that people get. And then I do 8 cookies and then 3 or 4 icings and sprinkles. And then I supply a turntable. I make homemade what are those things called? Scribe tools with beads. And so if they want to stay after class, they can make their own scribe, or they can buy the one that I provided for class. And that's what I give them. And it's usually a 3-hour class, so we have a lot of fun. Oh, Alzheimer cookies, yay. Oh, you're such a nice person. Thank you. You don't know me. So excited. I want to see your setup. Yes, efficiency. He's single, by the way. Yeah, my son is he's 30, or he's going to be 30 this next year. He's a redhead. He's a ginger. So he's got that Norwegian Viking thing going for him. He's about 6'2". He's a handsome devil. Preach. Payment up front, absolutely. Been doing that for a while now. I feel more motivated. How many dozen cookies do you do a week? Okay, so I can do about 45 dozen in a week. That's hard. That's sleeping in shifts, like only sleeping like bare minimum. I like to stay, 30, 35 dozen in a week. I've done way more than that, of course. But I really get pretty tired when I do that. Yeah. 45 dozen. I'm just trying to, Lord, I just need 1/10 of your confidence. Girl, I will give you some of my confidence. Seriously. It took me a long time to get this confidence. Do you have trouble sourcing cookie cutters that large? Absolutely not. Everybody out there makes large cookie cutters. Oh, and P.S., I couldn't find my mascara, so my eyes are looking a little dull today. Anyways, do you ship or sell locally? Just sell locally. I am a home baker. We are not allowed to ship in the great state of Montana. I will, however, tell you that I have lots of friends and family that I will ship for. So I do ship cookies, but not, if you're my customer, I'll say you need to have somebody locally pick them up and ship them, because I can't legally do that for you. Where do you do your pop-ups? From your home? No. Flash sales? Yes, I can explain a little more. If someone cancels an order, do you refund? Absolutely not. If they cancel an order, and I'm not a monster. If somebody had surgery or something, like COVID weddings, we canceled several COVID weddings, and absolutely I will do that. But if somebody cancels an order for whatever reason, I give them credit, store credit. So that's how that works. Flash sales. Flash sales are, if you have cookies left over, I'll take a picture of what I have and post it on the gram and the Facebook, and say first come, first serve. First person that messages me can have these cookies for, $65, whatever. And then it's a race to see who can get there first. So yeah. Flash sales in your homes. I do pop-ups in businesses, and there are like breweries, bars love me. We did a make your own hot cocoa bomb once in a brewery place, and it was fabulous. And so we did 2 burgers and 4 hot cocoa bombs, and it was $60 or something like that. And they made some money, I made some money. We saw hundreds of people that day, got my name out there, again, branding myself. People see me out there. You're awesome. Oh my God, I love you guys. Where do you get large cookie cutters? I'll tell you a few of my very favorite cookie cutter places, and just about everybody will give you large cookie cutters. You can get them. They give you the sizes. I love Shaby, Kaleida Cuts, Sweet Shop Design. If I'm leaving, brown bag cookie cutters, they're fabulous. I'm trying to think. Oh, my new favorite is the Cookery Canada. I think I have to own every one of her cookie cutters. She does her cutters for the Miller's Wife. Oh God, love. But I'll buy it. I'm kind of a cookie cutter whore. I'll buy from anybody if they have what I want. You can get large cookie cutters from everywhere. Give us more information about your hot cocoa bombs. Okay, so hot cocoa bombs, I buy the Calais Bay Calais, and I do the white chocolate and the milk chocolate. Last year we did the 70-inch bombs. This year I bought a bunch for 60-inch bombs. So we're going to make a little bit smaller ones, because those 70-inchers, those are giant balls. And one thing that I didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about is copy. I know that the girls, the twins, talk about copy a lot. I think I told you that I'm sassy, and copy is my game. I love copy. So you will not see me put, I just love how these cookies turned out. That is not something that will ever be written on my Facebook page. No. When we launched our sass balls, our hot cocoa bombs, I put music notes and I put, he's got big balls, she's got big balls, but we've got the biggest balls of them all. And I named them sass balls, again, branding, and I put a catchy tune on there. And I said, my next line was, if you're not singing AC/DC after reading this, please see yourself out. And that got people to look at they stopped scrolling. They read my whole post. So copy is really important. So be sassy. Don't be that. I just love how these cookies turn out. And if you're that girl, I'm not knocking you, but everybody does that. Be sassy, stand out from the pack, be silly. People like it. They do. Trust me. So my bombs, I charged $9 to $10 for a bomb, and everybody around here was doing $5 a bomb. So, and I couldn't keep up with it, literally. Where do you get your stickers? I get my stickers from whoever can do them the cheapest. I think the last place I got them was Print Place, and I order them in like 5,000 cookie lot or sticker lots, because then you get the more you order, the deeper your discount. So I'm going to use up what I have right now of my current logo, and then I have a new logo that we've branded, and I'm going to order them in my new logo, which is much more streamlined and classy. Really excited. Do you individually wrap your cookies? Yes, always. If I'm running behind and I have to send a set out that's not quite dry yet, that's the only time I don't wrap my cookies. I wrap each cookie and I put a sticker on each one. So if you're going to get into my cookie, you're going to have to go through my sticker. And again, I branded myself. See what I did there? You have to look at it. So yes, as a cookie you're starting out, what did your pricing look like? Did you start at $5 a cookie? Yes. $5 a cookie starting out. I figured it would be easier for me to lower my prices if I had to than to raise prices, because people balk at raising prices. So even though I'm not sure if I'm honestly worth it still to this day, $5 a cookie, my business says I am, and in January I'm raising my prices. I am going to raise my prices to more than $5 a cookie because I can, and people are still going to pay it. When I do pop-ups, I raise my prices. I do $6 a cookie, and sometimes $8 or $9 a cookie if they're big ones. So yeah, and people pay it. If you're selling one single cookie out there, people pay it. They will pay it, honestly. What size boxes are those? Where did you get them? I'll tell you what. When I do my Facebook Live on my studio tour, I will put down the boxes and the sizes and the numbers of the boxes I use so that you can all get a look at them. And if you want to order them, yes. You are awesome. I love you so much. Thank you, Selena. How much do you charge for your sass balls? I use Calube. I know I need to charge more. Yeah, you need to charge it. I think we figured out, I can't remember now, but I mean, that stuff's expensive per ounce. So you definitely need to charge more. My sass balls were like $9, $10 a piece. I would love to get your printable things for your, oh, absolutely, Laura. I will. How about if I put those on my post for on my class tour? I'll put that, the sass box little flyers. And then I just made it in Canva. So yeah, go to Canva. You can copy the wording. I don't care. You're not in my market. You're not going to hurt me. So yeah, copy away. Are your classes only for cookie decorating, or does it include dough making and baking? So I have people requesting the cookie basics, like Cookie 101, like dough, icing, baking, all that stuff. And I eventually will get to that, but I'm so busy doing like the classes, like the decorating classes for the upcoming holidays. So maybe this winter I'll do a 101 baking class where I show people how to do the dough and how to roll it out and all that stuff. Where are you located? I am in Great Falls, Montana. I love your energy and personality. I love you, Kat. Thank you, God, so much. How much do you charge for your sass box? I do charge $24 a month for 3 or 6 months, or 12 months, and then they get a free month if they buy that 12-month subscription. They get their 12th month free. and they get birthday cookies on their birthday month. And I try to give little bonuses once in a while. So I will throw in a hot cocoa bomb or something like that. And if you go to my pages, you can look on my pages, and I posted a lot of my previous SAS boxes, so you can kind of see what I've done and get an idea. Some of them are really good. I try to stay away from the holidays, like in like March, I did do a leprechaun, but I ordered him specifically for that because I don't sell a lot of cookies for St. Patrick's Day, but I did do a leprechaun. But I try to stay away from that holiday that's in those months, because I want those people, those are my ride or dies. I want them to buy my holiday cookies too. So I try not to give them the holiday cookies for that corresponding month. 8 cookies in your class. Are they all different designs? Yes. Yes. Hang on just a second. I started using tissue paper. I was using paper shred. I love it so much cheaper. Yeah, I'm not a big shred girl. I don't like having to deal with it and it gets everywhere. So I just use tissue paper. It's nice and clean. Great Falls, Montana. Have you ever hosted a Bring Your Own Booze Mom's Night class? I've considered it and super curious. Yes, I think that's a great idea. Private classes. I want to start doing like bridal showers and birthday party private classes for people to come and do a private class with me. I think that'd be really fun. So yes, I think that's a great idea. 8 cookies in my classes, and they are all different designs. And what I'll do is I'll pre-flood some and pre-tray some so that we don't have to wait for things to flood if I want to teach piping or something like that. So I do a little, that's why I do so many cookies, because I do have them in various stages of completion for them. So truly appreciate you for doing this. Thank you. Do you make all decorated cookies or drop and sandwich cookies? Currently, I just do decorated cookies. I am looking to hire somebody right now, and if I can get somebody hired here soon, I want to do a series of drop cookies, because I think that's untapped. I think that's another untapped market. I can't personally do another thing like drop cookies, but if I can get somebody hired to help me, then I'm gonna just do some drop cookies. I'm collecting recipes and stuff. Do you have help with your business? I do have some help with my business. I have a gal that works for me in the storage units here. She makes all my dough. She cleans for me. She does all my dishes. So if I call her and say I need dishes done, she'll come in and do dishes for me. And I've started making my dough like 10 batches at a time and putting them in bags, in 2.5 gallon bags, rolling them out. So I roll them out at 10 millimeters and then put them in the freezer and freeze them flat. So then all I have to do is open the bags up, give them one quick roll to 8 millimeters and cut cookies out of them. And I love that. Love that. So yes, I have, and she bags cookies for me. She's fabulous. So I am looking for a full-time person. I would like to bring somebody on for a year and then give them 2 years to buy me out so I can get busy with that condo in Hawaii. Yeah. What's your favorite season of decorating cookies? I love all seasons. Probably Christmas and Halloween are my 2 favorites. I'm so excited for those. My busiest season, surprisingly, you would think it would be Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's May and June. Oh my God. 1 week in May, I turned down 35 orders. That's what I turned down. 35 orders. Graduations, weddings, nurse appreciation, teacher appreciation, holy cow, Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's crazy. The spring is crazy. So, favorite season. How do you ship them? So when I ship, I do priority mailers, free boxes from the post office, and I double the cookies up. So two cookies together, back to back, same shape cookies back to back. I wrap them each in bubble wrap, tape them up really tight, and then I cram them into a box, and I make sure that there's no movement whatsoever. I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 cookies break so far in all the cookies that I've shipped. So I'm not too terrible at shipping cookies, but the key is to not have any movement, and you don't want any break points. Like you don't want to. You want to have the same shaped cookies back to back. You don't want like a long cookie against a short cookie, and that's a break point. So you don't want to do that. Yes. I'm in love with my balls. Thank you. I've never had anybody tell me they love my balls. Does the monthly box include only 6 cookies each month? They have a minimum of 6 cookies, sometimes more. September, because I was late last month and I'm late this month, I decided to give them a double up month. So they're going to get 12 cookies this month. And like I said, it costs nothing to do that, but they love it. They love it. It's perceived value again. How many people do you have in a class? I have anywhere from, if I have the class here in my studio, I can have up to 14 people. If I go any bigger, I have it over at the country club. We get free rooms over there and they cook for me and do all that stuff. So I just pay $100 and buy some food and drinks and they clean up and do everything. So that's kind of cool. You are inspired. Oh, thank you. I love that. You guys are so kind, so nice. Where do you do your classes? I want to have them, but I have to find a place for them. Yeah, so you could even do them in your house. You have to have anything special for classes. You don't have to rent any place. A lot of places will, like if you have a Hobby Lobby, I think they have a classroom and you can do classes in Hobby Lobby, I think. But I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. A lot of places, if you order food from them, they will let you use a back room if they're not busy. So maybe look into that. Churches would be a great place. I know a lot of churches will let you use their kitchen dining room areas and not have to pay a fee. But yeah, just someplace cheap. Like you don't want to put all your money into overhead. Yeah. Do they pay upfront for the 12 months or do you charge on a monthly basis? So they have the option of doing 3, 6, or 12 months at a time. I do not charge on a monthly basis. I don't want to have to do that. So, if they do 3 months, I usually send out the week before we do SAS boxes. I bill people out for that week, for that next 3 months. And I'm totally old school. I do everything on paper right now. Oh, one of the things I want to tell you, if you don't have a website and you're just starting out, get a website. That is one thing I do not have that I desperately need. I desperately need a website. Then I would change that. I would make sure that that was the first thing I did was do a website. So if you don't have one, get one. I am for pre-sales, classes, that kind of stuff. Custom cookies, I never want to do those without talking to people. I want to be able to talk to people. I feel like that is something that should be done for custom cookies. I need to be able to communicate with people, but holidays, pre-sales and stuff like that, website all the way. Need one badly. Do you include treats inside your SAS balls? So my SAS balls usually have, so let's say I do like a salted caramel SAS ball. I would do a salted caramel hot chocolate, a couple tablespoons of that. And then I would do some, caramel bits, like little bits of caramel, and then marshmallows in it, seal it, and then I just use royal icing on the top of them, and then do sprinkles with caramel bits and some salt on the top of it, sprinkle on the royal icing, and they're perfect like that. Do you deliver your SAS boxes? Yes, I do deliver them. That is one time I deliver. I'm basically really lazy and I don't like delivering. So if you want me to deliver cookies to somebody, you're going to pay me $15 to do it, to get my big butt out of my chair and drive across town and deliver cookies. SAS boxes are the one thing that I happily deliver once a month, right to your house. I do deliver to homes. I usually go after 5 when everybody's home from work. I've grown so big this last month that I might have to start limiting my SAS boxes. I'm not sure how many more people I can accommodate just for delivery purposes, because I think I've added another, 15 people. So that's a lot. It's getting big. It's getting bigger than what I want. Do you bake your entire week of orders in one day, maybe freeze baked cookies and take them out to decorate? Would love to know your workflow. I do try and bake my week's cookies all together. And my cookies are big, fat, juicy, chunky cookies, and they don't need to be frozen. They last forever. So I have I'm going to show you when I do my tour. I have great bins that are airtight sealing bins, and I store them in there, and they're perfectly fine for the week. So yeah, I try to bake all in one day. I have one regular oven. I bake at 2 sheet pans at once. That's what I have. That's how I do it. So it takes a whole day to bake, basically, but I can keep working too. So yeah, and then I will flood. So what I call it is feeding the dragon. You are always feeding the dragon. That means that I always have I always have at various stages of production. I have unbaked cookies. I have flooded cookies waiting to be frosted. I have frosted cookies waiting to be baked. So there's always work to be done. They're never sitting there waiting for something to happen unless I'm terribly procrastinating and have to design, bake, flood, decorate, and ice an entire set in one night, which happens occasionally. Shh, don't tell anybody. That's why you get a dehydrator. Anyways, so that's kind of what my workflow is. I feed the dragon. I'm constantly thinking, okay, what samples can I squeeze in here? Let's make a set of samples for next week in between this. Yeah. So you're saying that your mantra is do extra and be extra. Yeah. Absolutely. Be extra. People will remember it and they will love you for it. So in class, are there like 5-inch cookies? Yep. I don't buy special class cutters. I just use my big giant cutters. Drop cookies. You do drop cookies, Laura, and they're amazing. I totally recommend. I want to get into drop cookies. I already have it planned out. So I'm going to do a Harry Potter series of drop cookies, and every cookie is going to be named after a Harry Potter cookie or a character. So that's my next thing. I'm hoping this, like maybe the end of this month, I can get that done. Thank you so much. This has been helpful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just answered. Okay, I really enjoyed your live talk. Got a lot of great ideas. I'm ready to launch my website. Go girl, get a website, seriously. This is all new for me. Do you have a commercial oven? No, I have an LG $600 oven in my corner of my my little shop here, and I'll show it to you when I do my tour. Yeah, I bake 2 sheet pans at a time. Clicked your profile. And your son is handsome. Ooh, thank you. He is handsome. He's available. He's single. And he's a good kid. How do you handle pickup for orders and subscription boxes? So my orders, I do I have people drive here to pick up orders, and they message me when they leave and they're on their way. And when they arrive, they message me and I run their orders out to them. I do not have people in my office, and that's more COVID stuff. The SAS boxes I deliver right to their houses. Sometimes I'd like to deliver to businesses because you can sell stuff at businesses. Their coworkers will see what they got and they'll be like, oh, I gotta have me some of that too. So sometimes it's nice to deliver to businesses so that you can get sales from the coworkers too. So that's you're my hero. I love being a hero. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley Mitchum. Will you be my friend? Yes, Kristen, I will be your friend. You making me feel like this is doable. It is doable. Guys, it's doable. I did it. Fat, sassy, sick granny did it. It's doable. You sound like a confident angel on my shoulder. Girl, I am here for you. Call me, text me. I will sit on your shoulder any day. Yeah. How many SAS boxes do you currently have? I think I'm up to about 28 to 30 right now. And that's pushing maximum because that's 6 boxes. So that's 180 cookies. I block off the Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, the first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of each month to do SAS boxes. It takes me 3 days because it's getting pretty big. To handle those. And then my goal is to eventually have the first week of the month completely blocked off for custom orders and do classes at the end of the week and do the SAS box at the beginning of the week. So that would be ideal. That's ideally what I'd like to do. What is your Instagram? It is at Sassy Sister Sugar Co. At Sassy Sister Sugar Co. All one word. I can maybe post that in the link. How about I do that? Where do you get your airtight bins from? I'm going to put that in my next live. It's a studio live, and I'll put that in there. I get them from Walmart, and they're the Sterilite with the gaskets, and they're big and they hold a lot, and I use them all the time. You should do a short weekly podcast. I could sure use a dose of your, oh my God, Dallas. Yeah, let's do it. Let's plan it. You and me, girl. Dehydrator is a game changer. Totally agree. If you charge a rush fee on orders, you mind I ask how you bring it up in conversation without sounding intimidating? I don't charge a rush order. If I can't do the order, I don't take the order. If I can't do the order, realistically, I don't take the order. So no rush orders for me. I just don't do it. I don't believe in it. So, and I'm not knocking anybody that does it at all. You guys do it. Where do you get your sprinkle jars from? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the links to that in my studio tour. Those are Amazon. There's 5 and 8 ounce jars there. And I will put the link in my studio tour for all this fun stuff. How do you generate and collect invoices? So I handwrite everything right now, which is why I need a website real bad. So yeah, it takes me hours to take orders every week. It's pre-sales and stuff like that. I badly need a website. So I just bought a sheet on Etsy and I just write my orders on that. And it's a stack of paperwork and I keep them in folders and it's totally low tech. Cause remember, I'm old. Yeah. Old and not very technically savvy. So yeah, I need help with that. Show the sprinkle display behind you. All right, sprinkle display. I'm a Roy G. Biv girl. There's my sprinks. My favorite sprinkles are, I love fancy sprinkles. I love Sprinkle Pop. Here are my my Halloween sprinkles, gearing up for those for the DIY kits, which if you're not doing DIY kits, do them. Oh my God, so fun. So I'm gearing up for the DIY kits with my sprinkles there. And I belong to the Fancy Sprinkles Sprinkle of the Month Club. Yeah, that's a thing, and I do it. And the Shabby Cutter of the Month Club. That's another thing that I do. Yeah. Anyways, okay, what else? Maybe we need to have a paid subscription consult with us lesser producing cookiers. I'm in. Yes. Do you ever take a day off? Yes, I do. I often. I suffer from migraines. This kidney disease gives me migraines, so sometimes I take really poorly timed days off and I just pass out and go unconscious for a day or two. So yes, I would love to see your cookies. I have a full page of cookies. My Instagram and my Facebook is all about cookies. I can post the links when I get done here. I'll post the links. How does that sound? Montana, are you a Yellowstone girl? Like the show Yellowstone, I'm wondering. I haven't seen it yet, but yes, I love Yellowstone. That's one of my very favorite places in the whole world is Yellowstone and Glacier Park. Yes, yay for grannies. I'm 60. Go, Kristen. I am 52, 3, something like that. Yeah. Yay for grannies. You're not old. I'm 27 and use carbon paper invoices. Good for you. How do you do your DIY box? So I do one box. It's $30 and you get 3 or 4 icing samples and I put like 2 ounces per bag, sprinkles. And I use, I did order the test tubes. I saw somebody with the test tube idea out there for Halloween. I like that. But I do for my DIY boxes, I just put my sprinkles in these guys right here, these long ones, and just do little packets of sprinkles for like 3 or 4 sprinkles. So I'll do a sanding sugar, a Jimmy, and then one of the expensive sprinkle packs, one of these guys that are the expensive stuff that, and then I'll throw in some eyeballs, and then 12 cookies. And that's how I do my DIY kits. And I charge $30 and I don't offer any different sizes like the popcorn pricing and all that stuff. I just do one. And they either get it or they don't. I don't care. Do you do multiple flavors or just regular sugar? I do an almond cream cheese sugar cookie. So my cookies are like fat, juicy, just badass cookies. They stay fresh a really long time. It's just a really good recipe. I have a little bit of I fight with myself a little bit. My cookies do spread a little bit. So I do give up a little bit of spread to get those fat, juicy cookies. So I'm like not one of those Instagram picture perfect kind of cookie people that every cookie has to match and be the same size. My cookies do end up being different sizes sometimes. And I'm willing to accept that because they taste really good and they look really good. You know what I'm saying? Like they're good looking cookies. Anyways, how many cookies in a DIY kit? I do 12 cookies. So I do 3 cookies of 4 different kinds. So for like Halloween, I would do a ghost, a candy corn, a witch's hat, and maybe a black cat or a bat or something like that. What size are your DIY cookies? Same size. I do roll them out at a 1/4 inch, so they're a little thinner. I don't think they need those big, the kids don't need those big cakey cookies that I usually make. Yes, the show, awesome. No, I have not watched the Yellowstone show yet. It's on my list. And surprisingly, I can watch an entire season on Netflix of any show in a night when I pull an all-nighter. So yeah, that's kind of fun. I do watch a lot of Netflix. And I'll show you how I set up so I can watch TV while I'm baking. How do you collect payments? So I collect payments in 2 ways. I do either Venmo or PayPal. And PayPal, they can use their PayPal account, credit card, or debit card. Or I do Venmo. And right now I have the free Venmo account. They haven't busted me yet and made me start paying. So eventually they will. They'll catch up with me. I know they will. But that's how I do my payments. And most everybody is really good about it. I have a few stragglers that will want to pay cash. And I have a drop box for my storage unit. So people will drop cash in up there in envelopes or check. Because sometimes people will want to pay with a check. But for the most part, 90% of the people pay with Venmo. And then the rest, most of them pay with PayPal. So... I think that are the fancy sprinkles super hard to bite into? No, in fact, their big balls are sixlets. They're chocolate. Like I'll pick them out and eat them. Yeah, no, they're not terrible. Of course, some of the little pieces like the bones and the eyeballs and stuff, those are hard sugar. So yeah, you want to be careful with those. But anyways, I think that I answered all the questions that I could see. If anybody has anything else they want to ask me, I'm going to wrap this up. This was good. This was an hour and a half. So yay. I have to go run to a dinner really fast, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another live with a studio tour. So give me an hour and I'll come back and do a studio tour. Yay. Thanks, guys. I love you. Mwah. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the warm welcome and the kind words. And I wish that you all can go gangbusters, and I hope I was able to share something with all of you. Thank you so much. Mwah. Cookie on, guys, and brand yourselves.